to Cal State Long Beach, where I graduated with my bachelor's degree. And I love college so much that I ended up working for one. And here I am presenting today to all of you. So I'm very passionate about my job. But before we dive into the actual more specifics about Palomar College and community college in general, joining me as well, we have some actual Palomar ambassadors. They're actually currently students here at Palomar College, kind of going in the sort of trenches of this kind of COVID space right now. So I'm gonna give them a little bit of time to introduce themselves, and we are gonna go ahead and start off with Shawnee, who is our first Palomar ambassador. So Shawnee, take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shawnee. I am 27 years old. Actually, no, sorry, I'm 28 years old. I forget my own age sometimes with this whole COVID thing. But I actually have graduated high school in 2011 from Oceanside High School. If any of you guys know where that is, I am currently living up in Marietta, California, just because it's a little bit cheaper up here. But I do thoroughly enjoy, everything about Palomar. I've been looking at coming to Palomar since I graduated high school, which is crazy to think about, but it has not deterred me from wanting to come to Palomar after all these years. I'm currently studying for photography, graphic design, business management, glass blowing, and as well as chemistry, Japanese, and metalsmithing and jewelry making. So I'm going for a lot of different degrees. I'm glad I actually made a decision to come back after a 9-year break. I will say I completed my first year last year, and this is a wild ride that I'm on right now to come back to college after all these years, but I do not regret it at all. And I hope that there's some students out there who do want to take a gap year, and just so that they know it is okay to take a gap year. It is more than welcome to take a gap year, but don't be deterred if you want to take, some time off before you actually go to college. You can take as long as you need to, just as long as you do go back. And I'm actually going to be passing it off to our other college ambassador, Deja, who's going to introduce herself.
So hi everyone, my name is Deja. I am a college ambassador for our choices. This is my second year at Palomar College. So after I graduated, I went to community college. I did not take a gap year like how my other college ambassador did. So the reason why I chose Palomar College was for the great programs that we have. I am originally from Menifee, California, if anyone knows where that is at. So I did move all the way from Menifee all the way to San Marcos just to come to Palomar College. So I did move all the way to get a better education for myself, because all the community colleges where I lived are very impacted, and I did not want to take classes that I would not be able to get or not have the teachers that I would want. So I did take a tour at Palomar College actually, and I fell in love with the campus. I loved how big it was. I loved the nursing program, which I am trying to get into right now. So if anyone has questions about the nursing program, you guys can ask me towards the end, which is really nice. But that's pretty much it. So this is my second year, and I really like going to Palomar College. Now I'll be handing it back to Tony, which will be doing the presentation.
Alrighty. So definitely, if you have questions about the student experience, definitely, I graduated in 2013, so it's been a while. So definitely they can provide you with some great ideas about what it's like, especially right now in this virtual space. So to kind of talk about community colleges in general, I do want to preface, this is a lot for community colleges overall. This isn't just specifically to Palomar specifically. So when we think about the opportunities that are available to go to a community college for, everyone's a little bit different about why, but there's definitely a lot of different goals you can achieve. So whether that be obtaining an associate's degree, meaning you're getting a 2-year degree, maybe you're interested in transferring to a 4-year school, whether that's in-state, out-of-state, private. Community colleges really offer the benefit of offering certificate and career tech programs, which aren't necessarily as long as some other programs, and so really great for some students who really want to get some hands-on experience and go straight into the workforce. We have well, not we, the community colleges, of course, we have career changers who are interested in going back to school. If you're interested in developing multiple languages or English as a second language, one of the big benefits as well is that you can take actual college classes while you're still in high school. And it's a great way to get ahead, to get a better understanding of what college is like. And of course, you could potentially like graduate even faster by doing some college classes while you're still in high school. And of course, college is not just about, English and math, but you can also take a variety of different fun courses and still participate in sports and performing arts as well. You know, uh, Community college really offers that time for you to really figure out what you might want to major in. Community colleges have a whole bunch of options to consider with academic programming. The affordability is it's there, and I'm sure a lot of us will pretty much break down on what that really looks like. Quality programs ends up being a big one. Don't think that just because you're attending a community college that you're getting a lesser experience. A lot of the same professors that are teaching at a community college are likely also teaching at the Cal States or UCs in the surrounding area. So whether you're going to like Miramar, Miracosta, Southwestern, Palomar College, those professors are likely also teaching at Cal State San Marcos, San Diego State, and even UC San Diego. So don't think you're getting a lesser quality program because of that. Now, there are a lot of community college, of course, here in this very room, and even over 100 in just the state of California itself. Why Palomar College specifically? We're one of the largest community colleges in the state of California and San Diego County. We have a variety of locations. I know that might not mean much now because we're all mainly on an online space, but eventually when we do kind of go back in person, know that you have multiple options when it considers location. And of course, the Palomar Promise. Now we're starting to get into a little bit more specifically Palomar. We have something known as guided pathways. For those of you that might be unsure about what you might want to major in the future, this is a great resource for a lot of you to figure out what you might be interested in, really exploring what are the type of courses you'll be taking as a college student, the kind of money you'll be making, and of course, the type of jobs that entails. And of course, a lot of these links you'll also find in the chat as resources that we have the ambassadors adding in as well. Palomar College has a lot of different academic programs to consider when it comes down to deciding where you might want to major in, from drone technology, dance, music. There's definitely something for everyone. Just to kind of give you an idea, we have a variety of technical skills majors as well as degree transfer programs. And this just very quickly highlights the different types of programs that we have, the career technical programs that we do offer, and as well as new options to just remind you that we all are constantly reinventing ourselves and adding in, adapting to the times of everything else. For online education, we do offer online programming for the most part right now. Things, of course, can change. Everything with happening. COVID rules are changing every few days. So, but this was something that was already something that Palomar really already had established, as well as some programs that are actually done 100% online and even in 1 year. Again, as I mentioned earlier, the importance of the possibility of taking classes while you're in high school is a great way to, get caught up or kind of take advantage of what it's like to be in a college classroom as a high school student. And there's a form for that to fill out. To kind of go over transfer, I do want to preface that this is, again, now talking about all community colleges. This is not specific to Palomar in general. But there are two programs in particular that can be really helpful for a lot of students. The first one is the ADT program, or Associate's Degree for Transfer. It's a program in which if you do decide to attend a community college and you receive an associate's degree, there is a chance for you to actually be guaranteed admitted into a Cal State. On the opposite of that, we have something known as TAG, or Transfer Admission Guarantee, in which if you meet certain GPA requirements, a community college can guarantee you admittance into one of the UCs. And it's really great for the fact that, again, these GPAs aren't super high up there. It's anywhere from a 2.7 to a 3.4. And you can see it's for Davis, Irvine, Merced, Riverside, Santa Barbara, and Santa Cruz. It's important that no matter which community college you decide to go to, that you are reaching out to their student support services to receive extra help, especially now in this virtual space. It's more important than ever that you familiarize yourself with the tutoring services and other support programs to make sure that you are successful overall. In the essence of time, I'm just going to go a little bit faster. So for Palomar College, we do also offer the performing arts. We have sports that you can participate in. I know right now that might be seeming a little odd. Contact the sports, the athletic departments to familiarize yourself with them and figure out how they're kind of navigating in this virtual space. To break down the registration, tuition, and cost, it's about $138 per class. If you're taking 5 classes for each semester, it's $690 per semester, making it $1,380 per year. And again, this isn't anything specific to Palomar. This is something for all community colleges for just the tuition aspect. And when we compare that to Cal State's and UC's, you'll notice it's a little bit different. But of course, it just really depends. You might be someone that receives a lot of financial aid that can really support that cost. You might have scholarships. You might have financial support from family. But of course, that's not always the same for everybody. Just know that there is alternative options when it comes to cost, and community college is that great option. Hopefully you have all done your FAFSA by this point. If not, it's not too late for community college students to apply for their FAFSA. Just make sure to do it as soon as possible, whether that's the FAFSA or if you're a non-resident student, the California Dream Act. We are just gonna go right through this, sorry. So now to wrap up, to talk about the Palomar Promise program, it's a program in which if you do decide to attend Palomar College, we will provide you with free tuition for the first 2 years. There are 3 applications that you have to do in order to do everything. It's the Palomar College application, it is the FAFSA or the California Dream Act, and lastly, the Promise application. We've asked students to try to do most of this by March 2nd, but that doesn't mean you have to have it done it by then. You can still apply for Palomar Promise, just do so as soon as possible. To maintain eligibility, you do have to be a full-time student and maintain a 2.0 GPA. So where you should kind of be in this process right now is definitely filling out your college applications, deciding which community college you want to go to, and really start finishing those applications, figuring out their Promise program applications and everything. Something specific to Palomar, we're actually having an event called Palomar Preview Days, in which we have students that can come check out the different showcase of academic programs, services, and opportunities. And pretty much it's an event that you can attend. It's a free event. It's a whole week long, and it's all kind of done through Zoom, which is really nice as well. If you're interested in the future, take a campus tour, check out all of our virtual services online. We have our contact information located right down here. Our website is filled to the brim with a whole bunch of information that prospective students and families need in order to make the right decision for themselves and inform themselves a little bit more about Palomar College.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
So like, I was planning like if I could take summer classes for Palomar College, is that like fine? So I could like maybe graduate earlier. So
Are you talking about graduating earlier for
yeah,
high
if
school?
I were to, no.
Oh, for
I'm done with
college.
high school for college. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it doesn't have to be Palomar in general. It
Yeah.
could be any community college if you want to
Oh,
take classes over
okay.
the summer. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Do I have to be like a certain age or?
If you write me directly, just because I don't want to take time from the other presenters,
Oh, okay.
message me directly and then we can go ahead and resolve that. But now I'm going to hand it on over to Chantal, who is going to talk about Miramar College.
All righties, thank you. All right, so my name is Chantal and I will be presenting on Miramar College. I've actually been working at Miramar, specifically in the outreach office, for a little bit over 2 years now, and I've really enjoyed working with students and families and leading presentations such as these. When we were on campus, we would organize a lot of activities and events in person, of course, and that was truly, something that I really enjoyed. But of course, now that we are, communicating through a computer screen, it's a little bit different, but it's still my favorite part of my job. I'm not going to go over what outreach is. I think, Tony, you just, you did the description perfectly. So I don't want to take too much time in terms of that. But today, I also have Meredith, who is a part of our outreach team as well, who I work really closely with. So Meredith, if you can introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Meredith McGill. I also work in the outreach department at San Diego Miramar College, and I've been with the team for slightly over 5 years, really very passionate about working with our community members and welcoming new students and their families to our college. And I also started at Grossmont College and then transferred to San Diego State University. So I had such a great experience starting out at the community college level and just received so much wonderful support. So thank you so much for having me this evening.
All right, thank you, Meredith. So Miramar College is a part of the San Diego Community College District. So what does that mean? That means that we have sister campuses. So that includes City and that includes Mesa. We are all located in different parts of San Diego. For example, Miramar College is located in the Mira Mesa area. But what's really convenient is that with one application, students can take classes at any of the three campuses, City, Miramar, or Mesa, depending on their schedule, depending on what it is that they are deciding to take during that semester. And each campus has its unique programs and definitely different campus. If you've ever, visited Miramar or any of the other campuses, each are very different and they offer different services. And depending on, when we were in person, flexibility of location as well. We also have 7 continuing education programs or locations, and they focus a lot on non-college credit, courses and programs. And a lot of adult learners go and take classes, for example, to learn English. Some are focused more on GED. So it's a different level of college credit because when you attend our campuses, City, Mesa, or Miramar, you're receiving college credit. And continuing education, the majority is non-college credit, but still a lot to offer. And I definitely encourage students to look into just all the different possibilities in terms of our district. Miramar at a glance, we are the fastest growing community college in Southern California. If you were to compare us to Mesa and City College, we are a little bit smaller, but we're actually growing, and every year our number increases. And it's definitely a reflection of, the different programs and services and support that we have and campus life that we have as well for our students. And in the last 5 years, the number of students that have transferred has increased. And our top schools are, of course, the local schools, San Diego State being number 1, and number 2, UCSD. In our office, actually, we work with peer mentors. And so the majority of them have gone to UCSD. And past year, there was someone that went to Berkeley, others that went to UCLA. So it's not only in the San Diego area, some end up moving out of state or a little bit more north. We have 70 associate programs and 90 technical education certificates. And recently there was a study and we were ranked in the top 450 of the nation's colleges and universities for return on investment. And we're ranked 11 in public community colleges in California. And what that really means essentially is how much does a student invest in their education? So how much out of pocket do they pay? And versus how much will that education pay them over the course of 10 years. So this part was specifically for 10 years. And they look at how much a student may earn. They look at how much debt they might have. They look at how much financial aid or scholarships does a school provide. And so this is how they came about the number, because we understand that for a student, money and time is very important. So that's definitely taken into account. I'm not going to go too into depth into this. Every community college has, these paths. Either they want to transfer to another university after, their general education or associates to transfer, or they can have they can go for a certificate or a degree. A certificate is something to differentiate what's a certificate and what's a degree. A certificate, you only take the core classes depending on that area or that major that you are going for. So if it was automotive, you're only taking automotive. But if you want a degree in the automotive program, you're taking not only automotive classes, but you're also taking the general ed. So that's the English, the math, the history, similar to, in high school, you have to take certain classes, right? And at the bottom, you see that there's time frames or approximate time frames. It's important for me to also say that there's not just one path, there's not just one timeline for students. This is just approximately, how some students complete these different paths, but it really doesn't matter as long as you end up where you want to be and actually accomplish that goal. And of course, there's a lot of people and a lot of offices that are here to support students like yourselves. I'm just, Tony already talked about this, but financial aid, of course, either the FAFSA or the DREAM Act, depending on your status. The DREAM Act would be for undocumented students and non-resident students, but it's important to, follow deadlines. And just how was mentioned before, even though March 2nd has passed, you can still apply to financial aid. So please, look into that. There's a lot of great help out there, and also look into scholarships as well. All right, and we also have a promise program. We have the San Diego Promise, and it also provides free tuition up to 2 years for our students. So we have similar benefits as well. So I'm not going to go too into detail into that, but the academic aspect of a student's journey, in college is important. So we have peer mentors and we have counselors that are specific for our Promise students. And we have a little bit of everything. We even have social events, because it's still a community that we're trying to foster for students, especially that are barely beginning their first year or their first semester with us. And then eligibility right there. I'm not going to go into all the bullet points, but I do want to make sure that you all know that it does say first-time college student, but if you are a student that has taken college courses in high school, you're still eligible, okay? So I repeat, if you are a high school student and you have taken college courses, you're still eligible. You're still considered a first-time college student, okay? And then just make sure that you do apply. There will be links that I will add into the chat, so you can actually read over all of this afterwards, with time, and definitely get the steps to apply. All righty, and I'll hand it on over to Meredith.
Thank you so much, Chantal. So I would like to highlight that Miramar College has many different pathways for students to consider and explore. Don't worry if you're undecided or unsure. Some students, they may know, very early on that they're interested in studying perhaps engineering or a field, within the medical specialty. And then some students may not know. I myself, I changed my major many, many times. So what I encourage students to do is meet with a counselor very early on so that they can explore the different opportunities. And sometimes it really takes being in the classroom, gaining that experience, really having the opportunity to connect with professors in that setting. That may spark an interest as well as a passion that one may not have considered. So I would just like to emphasize that we do have 4 schools at Miramar College in our career technical areas. We also have the Certificate of Performance, as well as our associate degrees and associate degrees for transfer. As Chantal had also highlighted, really the difference between the certificates as well as the associate degree is the core courses that a student is going to be taking and completing. Also, the duration is much shorter. So the certificates, depending on the area of study, can be anywhere in length from 6 to 8 weeks to up to 12 months in length. And then associate degree, typically that takes approximately 2 years, 60 units to complete. And for some students, it may take a bit longer, or it may even take a bit shorter. So for each individual student, it is unique. And what's nice is you can customize it to meet your own individual needs. So we do have our School of Liberal Arts. This is focused on English, art history, graphic design. We also have our STEM program. We have a lot of really just hands-on opportunities for students that are considering partnerships, exploring within the biotechnology community. Perhaps they're even interested in nursing or even going into medical fields. Some students, they'll specialize in our biotechnology program just to gain that cutting edge and clinical experience to make them more competitive if they're planning to eventually go into an RM program or even into med school. We also have our School of Public Safety. Very well known, our EMT, Emergency Medical Technician program, our fire technology, and our administration of justice. So for students that are interested in potentially the police academy, that is a 6-month program. And also students that are interested in potentially even like forensic and continuing on at the university level. So certainly there's a lot to explore within these areas. Next slide, please. We also have our School of Business, Technical Careers, as well as Workforce Initiative. This is our automotive diesel mechanic technology programs, as well as computer science, business, also our aviation maintenance. We have a fantastic drone program. While we are not a flight school, some of the students will first actually begin through the aviation program to gain the technical skills, and that will help them gain the necessary hours to make them more competitive for a specific program that they may consider transferring to. Also, we do a really wonderful job of just building sets so that students are competitive and are able to gain internship opportunities as well as immediate employment within a very competitive area of the San Diego marketplace. So just so many areas, you know, certainly to take into consideration. The professors just do a phenomenal job of working individually with the students, and there's a lot of just like that hands-on experience. One of my favorite things when the campus was open is we collaborated with a lot of our like career technical departments on campus, and to be able to see the students actually, you know, in the garage working in the real life setting with these automotive mechanics was very, very inspiring. So eventually when things do reopen, would encourage you to schedule an in-person campus tour with us. I think that all of you would really enjoy that as well. And also in the meantime, we have many virtual campus tours that we're also offering throughout this semester. Next slide, please. One of the things that I would like to highlight is Miramar Campus Life. I think one of the areas that I think is so important for students is to become a part of your campus. Build that sense of community, the connectedness, you know, becoming really acquainted with not just your professors, but also your peers. That can really make a huge difference in feeling connected. And just having, you know, that support is so important, because when you're transitioning from high school into college, you know, there's a lot of unknowns. It's a lot more just independence that everybody is gaining. And so really encourage you to take advantage of the different opportunities. We have many clubs that students can connect and you know, focus their time within. Sometimes the clubs, they may just meet, you know, on a monthly or even bi-weekly basis. So it's not requiring too much time, but, you know, certainly you'll be able to just collaborate and work closely with various students and, you know, talk about your experience at school, as well as, you know, perhaps your personal interest. Also our associated student government. So this focuses having the opportunity to have the student voice. The student voice is so important. We really rely on it so that we can make the college the most impactful and continually adjust just to meet the students where they're at. Also, we have our athletics. Well, right now, we're not actually having any type of like live games. My understanding is that we are going to be transitioning to actually some contactless sports and just slowly but surely allowing some of the practices to resume in the not too distant future. And then also we have our student employment at the outreach office where we currently work. We have a lot of our peer mentors as well as ambassadors, and they're able to get the real world practical employment skills to help just not only enhance their resume, but also, we work with them very closely on the day-to-day, and they have the opportunity to also work directly with students and share their experience as well, which is very impactful. So would encourage you, if you do have the opportunity to apply for student employment, it's also just a great way to build that internal community within your campus. Next slide, please. Also, we have many student services support services on campus to support you throughout your journey. So definitely, be sure to stay connected. If you ever have any type of, questions, you're unsure, we are all here to support you, throughout this experience. Moving on to our next slide. In terms of the application, everything is available online, and we do have 2 very exciting upcoming application workshops where you will learn exactly what is needed, how to get started, and how to apply. So I will highlight those briefly, but I know we're a bit short on time here. And then would like to just encourage you to, if you have not yet already, please do attend one of our pre-enrollment workshops. This is specifically for seniors that are going to be graduating, and we will have an online orientation. You'll know exactly what you need to get started, as well as meet with a counselor as well. So it's a 2-step process. We're going to host 2, March 25th at 1:30 p.m. as well as April 14th at 1:30 p.m. And we will be providing the links in the chat so that you can sign up as well. And then we also have our Promise Parent Nights that we do host each month. For the upcoming month of March, it's going to be hosted in Spanish. And then we also have monthly webinars that students can explore. And for the month of March, we're going to be highlighting the career technical education. So certainly take that into consideration. And then moving on to the next slide. This is our contact information. So would encourage you to, please stay closely connected with us. We have so many great means of communication. So of course we have our email. We also have a live chat feature available, so you can connect with the live representative during our business office hours, Monday through Friday. And we also have a listserv, so you can go ahead and sign up for that and receive a monthly newsletter, as well as please do follow us on our Miramar Outreach Instagram. So if you like to just hover your phone over these QR codes as well, it'll take you directly to those accounts. So thank you so much for having us this evening, and we'll be available after for any questions that you may have.
Thank you.
All right, I guess I'll start it off next. Thank you for sharing. Hello, everyone. My name is Keith Turner. I am the Interim Outreach Coordinator at Grossmont College, and I'm joined today with my colleague, Gabriella. Gabby, if you would like to see. All right. So first I wanted to share with you all some of the reasons why students choose Grossmont College. The number one reason being that, we are the number one transfer community college to San Diego State. So that is one thing we are known for. So I like to let students know that, hey, if that is a goal of yours after getting your 2-year degree, at Grossmont College, that we do have a great partnership with San Diego State, but with other universities and as well. So that is something to consider. Also, the cost of education of going to all community colleges that are present here today is that it is $46 a unit. What Tony broke down the math for us, that was great earlier. So thank you for that. But usually our 3-unit classes are a little over $100. And so the benefit of going to community colleges financially is very affordable. So I suggest going to community college. I was a former community college student as well, so I know that the route to a university is very possible and very affordable, especially with us being online now. And you know, you're kind of getting the same education if you're in an online environment than being in class. So you know, those are some of the benefits of attending Grossmont College. As well as I'd like to mention the being ranked, you know, number 52 nationwide for serving minorities. We have a large minority population in, you know, the San Diego County area. And so being ranked nationally in that is something we value a lot, just working in our community and making sure that everyone is getting the same chance at an education. So access is really important and something that we strive to give our students. So some of the opportunities available at our community college and the other community colleges that are present today is, of course, that it's affordable. So making sure that, you know, you fill out your FAFSA is going to be the most important thing, which the others have mentioned earlier today. So if you have not turned in your FAFSA already, students, please do so now. Because there was a priority deadline of March 2nd where you could have gotten additional benefits, but it's not too late. So make sure you've completed your FAFSA if you haven't done so already, because there are extra benefits like the college promise that I will be explaining a little bit later in my slides. But going to a community college provides you with a pathway to a 4-year degree. So if that is something that you are striving to do, and you want to attend a university in the future, a community college is a great way to get jump started. Usually you would attend for about 2 years, and then you'll be able to get that associate's degree to transfer to a 4-year university. So that is a pathway that we provide for several different areas. So you can get your associate's degree, which takes about 2 years, or associate's degree to transfer. It's normally about 60 units. On average is what we'd like to you know, mention to students. Some may take longer, some could be shorter, depending on if you're taking summer classes or taking more than traditional 12 units. We have CTE pathways, and that is our career technology education, where you are going into fields like you know, nursing, or it could be automobile. We are in the same district as Cuyamaca College. And so you are allowed to take classes at both Grossmont or Cuyamaca toward your degree to get the same degree. And so that is one of the partnerships we have. So if there's a major that you are interested in and maybe Grossmont College doesn't have it, like automobile, then you can take classes at Cuyamaca to fulfill that requirement. And so you can kind of double dip and go to both campuses, which is something that different districts offer, not just our district, but you'd be able to utilize the partnerships that we have within our district at multiple campuses. So just in case you're not aware of that, know that although you may attend only Grossmont College, you can still take other classes to fulfill your degree at Cuyamaca. As well as our bachelor's degree pathway. We have a pathway with Point Loma Nazarene University, for example. We have a strong nursing program with them. And so you'd be able to get your 4-year degree taking classes at both Grossmont and Point Loma Nazarene towards that degree in nursing. And or we also have a computer science, computer information science, where you can go on that pathway and take classes at both that university and our community college on your way to a 4-year degree. So we offer 4 different ways in which you can get a certificate, or you can get associate's degree to transfer. And so if, depending on what your personal goals are, we do have programs in place and certificates available to you. So it doesn't always have to be 2 years. Like I said, it could be a 1-year program where you get in and you get a certificate in like administrative assistant. You can get a certificate through our business office technology program, where you would attend classes for 2 semesters and you leave with something, you leave with a certificate that shows that you are competent with those skills for that specific job that you want to enter into. So it doesn't always have to be a 2-year degree, which some people may believe. Next, to sign up for Grossmont College, it is really easy. We have a 5-step process, and I'm gonna put our website in the chat for you, as well as my contact information in case you have any questions or you want assistance in filling out your application. So I just provided my email address as well in the chat. But the first step is completing our online application, which takes about 10 to 15 minutes. And something awesome that we just launched a couple of weeks ago is now our CCC My Path, where you actually can do a career assessment before enrolling into filling out that application. And so the career assessment helps you as a student in high school. It helps you know, what major should I take? I know many of you are still undecided on what major you want to take in college. And so our career assessment will take you through several different questions to help you decide, hey, these are some of your passions that we feel, and you are 90% in this field, right? So we'll say marketing may be your the field that you are passionate about. And so it would recommend that field. And then there would be a 70% cooking, right? So based on how you answer those questions, it's going to send you a list of different career paths that you may want to consider based on how you answered those questions. And so that's something that we just launched. And so if you're undecided, I highly suggest taking that career assessment. And you'll see that when you click on grossmont.edu and you try to apply. That is one of the first steps, is the career assessment, which I highly suggest you take. Then followed by the online orientation. And then you do a placement questionnaire for English, math, or ESL, where they help you gauge what class you're going to go into next, what level of math that you should be taking based on how you performed in high school. The 4th step is creating an education plan with our counselor. And then 5th step is getting you signed up for an actual class. And so we do have an easy process where we are able to help you out with that. And I see there's some questions in the chat. I will answer those as soon as these slides are done. Next, I'd like to, if you have your phones out and you are interested in attending our campus, we have our Griffin's virtual help desk. And that is where students are able to get help with an ambassador between these hours from 8 to 6, Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursdays, 8 to 5, Fridays, 8 to 1. And then on the weekends, we recommend that you use our outreach YouTube page, which will be on our next slide. But pretty much everyone now is virtual, right? No one is on campus. So what do you do when you're at home and you need help finding something on campus? You can log on to our Griffin's virtual help desk, and we have a student ambassador who is going to answer all your questions or direct you to someone who can. So this is something we are proud of. We've helped over 1,000 students in the last about 6 weeks since school has started, just answering their questions, right? It's hard to navigate a campus when you're not there. And so we want to let the high school students know, if you are interested in attending Grossmont College, know that if in the fall, if classes are still remote in in our region, then we are here to help you, and we have support set up. All right. Next is something I was explaining earlier, is our YouTube page. So you can go on youtube.com/Grossmont Outreach, and we have videos in multiple languages that are going to walk you step by step through our process on how to do something on our website, right? So one of the things students need help with is, hey, I'm a first-time college student. I do not know how to register for classes alone, right? In high school, everything is done for you for the most part. And in college, you have to be more independent. And so one of the things we did was, hey, let's create some videos that helps our students know how to navigate our college website, right? You've never had to register for classes by yourself. And so we provided multiple videos on our YouTube channel on how to do that. So we are very big on support and making sure that we walk you through in multiple languages, step by step, on how to do things like register for your classes. So some of the programs and services we offer at Grossmont, here's a list of them. I will not go through all of them for the sake of time, but just know that we have awesome programs like our Via Rapida. I have my colleague here, Gabriella, who will explain more about our Via Rapida first year experience program. We have a mentorship for students who are first timers. She'll go in depth about that, but I highly suggest that you sign up for that. We have a transfer center. So if you are looking forward to moving on from a community college to a university, we have a transfer center in place that will help you transfer and take you through that process, what it looks like early so that you are not behind. We have a career center. Some students, you are gonna need a job in college, right? Instead of going out on your own and looking for a job, we help you at our career center with resumes, cover letters, and we have partnerships with places like Viejas Casino, where they will come out and then they hire our students, and we have job fairs on our campus. So we are really big on helping our students get the support that they need. We have Puente, which is a community-based program where you'll be joined with like-minded students who need support. We have a veteran service for former military, or if your parent or guardian is in the military, you may be eligible for certain benefits. So we have that veteran center, or for adult learners as well. For any parents who are on this call and are interested in taking one class or getting a degree or certificate, we do have those services available. We have free tutoring at our college. A lot of students don't know that you can receive free tutoring in college. And so that is one of the things that we do offer, is free tutoring. So I highly suggest, if you're struggling in the class, that is an opportunity that you can take advantage of. Also, we have EOPS. They give things like priority registration, free book vouchers. And not only Grossmont College, but several of these community colleges in San Diego offer EOPS. So if you guys are, I would highly suggest applying because you do get those things like free book vouchers when a book for one class could be anywhere to $200. And so if you want to save $200 on a school book, I highly suggest you apply for some type of program on campus like EOPS or some of these other ones that can help you get those vouchers. And then the last one I'll talk about is the Accessibility Resource Center you see here. Our Accessibility Resource Center is for our students with disabilities. So if you have a documented disability, you can apply, and then as soon as you are eligible, then you will get things like support outside of the classroom. So whether that's more time taking an exam, just little things like that, our ARC is for students with disabilities. All right, so some of my peers on here have talked about the College Promise. So ours is called the Grossmont Cuyamaca College Promise. You get 2 years free of education. And so if you plan on going to a 4-year, right, get those first 2 years for free. I can't stress how important this is to complete your FAFSA so that you are eligible for this. You do these 4 simple steps, apply at our college, do our orientation, meet with the counselor, do your FAFSA, and you are done. Then you are eligible for 2 years free. You just have to maintain a 2.0 GPA and be a full-time student. So that is something that all students out of high school, you are eligible for. And EOPS is extended opportunities programs and services. So I can put that I'll put a link for you in the chat. Carlitos, I'll put a link in the chat for you, okay? So that you can see what that is in more depth. It'll answer some of your questions. Okay. Grad Guru, if you have your cell phones out right now, go to the App Store, download Grad Guru. It is free. Click on Grossmont College, and then grad guru is pretty much your personal assistant in college, right? So as a college student, you have a lot of things going on. You have work, you have school, you have family, you have all these things that you have to juggle, right? It is really hard to remember all of the events going on campus. So one of the things that we have is we have a grad guru, which is an app, and it's going to send you notifications of things that are going on campus so that you don't miss anything important. So when there's deadlines for financial aid, there's deadlines for your FAFSA, there are finals coming up, right? It's hard to remember all these different dates. And so what Grad Guru does is it sends you updates on your phone on what's going on our campus. Whenever we have like a food drive, like today we had a food drive at Grossmont College, we served over 300 students free food, right? But hey, what if you didn't know that that was available because you didn't hear about it? Well, Grad Guru would have sent you an update to your cell phone saying, hey, come to Grossmont College today. We are giving away free food, right? So Grad Guru is pretty much your personal assistant. So if you want to know about what's going on our campus, like we have student success fairs that are happening, that is something that's going to update you constantly on what's going on campus. So download that if you get a chance today. It's really informative. And lastly, before I move to my colleague, we have personalized virtual tours available. You can contact Rita Arabo, and she will set you up with a student ambassador, and we will walk you through what our campus looks like virtually. We have a cool virtual tour set up for everyone. We just had a performing arts building that was finished over the summer of last year. No one has been inside of it yet because of the COVID protocol, but we have a really nice facility that was just built. And so we would love to share with you what our campus looks like right now. So if you're interested in looking at Grossmont College, feel free to contact Rita. Just screenshot this or take down her email address. You have my email address in the chat as well. And you can see what our campus looks like. So here we have application workshops and information sessions for the public, for our community. I'm gonna answer you guys' questions in the chat in just a moment. The application workshops and information sessions, we have some of those that are set up for the next 2 months. So if you are interested in learning a little bit more about Grossmont College or our district, then I highly suggest you come to one of our application workshops or information sessions. Here's the Zoom link from 2 to 3:30. We have one next Friday that I will be leading personally. So all you have to do is come log in. We will be available to answer any more of your questions. And then, and we're even here to help you complete your application. So you don't have to do it at home by yourself. You can join us at our application workshops, and then we will help you fill out the application step by step. So you will have someone with you along the way. All right, and next I'm gonna turn it over to my colleague, Gabriela.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Keith. Hi, everyone. My name is Gabriela Soto, and I work for the First Year Experience Program at Grossmont College. I'm just going to briefly share and talk about our program. We were created to pretty much help guide you during your first year at Grossmont College. Here are just some of the benefits that we will provide you. We provide a Griffin experience, which is like a welcome session. So we kind of get you ready before your first day of school. Priority registration, this is a great benefit that you definitely want to have. You pretty much get first pick to all your courses. We also have our own FYE counselors. They're going to help you with your educational and career planning. We have peer mentoring. You can see the picture on the right. Here are some of our peer mentors. You can always message them, email them, meet with them virtually, ask them any and all questions that you may have. They are current Grossmont College students. We have what we call a learning community that's offered only to our students. Throughout the year, we will also host success workshops for you to attend. We also have our own financial aid liaison. They can help answer any of your questions regarding your FAFSA or your DREAM Act application. And sorry, got caught off a little bit, but we do provide year-round communication. So all events that are going on campus, we'll share that with you. We'll remind you about upcoming deadlines. And to join our program, we really only have two eligibility requirements. The first being we accept all first-time to college students. If you took college courses while in high school, that's okay. That's considered dual enrollment and you're good. And the second is you do have to submit the FAFSA or DREAM Act application. But for us, it's just kind of like a checkoff. We're not going to check, family income or anything like that. And we are currently accepting applications. So if you're thinking of going to Grossmont, you should definitely join our FYE program. We're gonna help guide you with the whole process. I will put all the links in the chat. Sorry, I'm going a little fast. Just want to be mindful of time. Here is our website and our email. If you're on social media, you can check us out via Rápida GC. Next slide, please. So just really brief, we are also hosting our own information, virtual information sessions. I will post again the link in the chat in case you want to hear more about our program, and I'm going kind of fast. But again, this program is only going to help you if you're attending Grossmont College this fall. We're not going to hurt you in any way. So yes, thank you. I'll go ahead and post all the links in the chat.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Gabby.
All right, my name is Jonathan Gomez. I'm the program manager for Miracosta College. Very excited to speak to you all tonight. Thank you for your attention. I will make my part extremely brief and just remind everybody that all of our colleges pretty much offer the same type of structure. And then we have our special programs and unique components that we offer, but we're all California community colleges, so we offer a lot of the same things. So a lot of times we get the question is like, which one's the best college for me? So take some exploration, right? It's really about which one's the right one for you, not which one does people think is the best. So with us, one of the ways you could explore is speak with our student ambassadors, right? Current students. So you can go online. I'll post some of the links later, but you can see our chat is online. Typically they would be giving tours. We do offer a virtual tour that we can set up for you. So again, I'll give you the contact information for that. And this is what, a lot of us have this chat system called Cranium Cafe. So when you go online, you'll see something like this and see who's available. And as far as Miracosta College, just if you're not familiar with the locations, we have 4 campuses, and closest one to you is most likely our San Elijo campus, which is located right off the 5 in Manchester. We have to blend in with the lagoon, so a lot of people don't see us there, but we're right next to the big gold dome of the Greek Orthodox Church there off of Manchester. Okay, and as far as our student population, you can kind of see our average class sizes are similar to other colleges and just the breakdown there. And we have about close to 20,000 students at our San Elijo campus, which is pictured here. You would see about 3,000 students that attend that campus. So it's a smaller campus. Okay. And we're also known for being military friendly. So we have, we're one of 2 colleges in San Diego that have a Veteran Affairs representative on our campus. And we have a huge population of military affiliated students. If you have any benefits, we'll definitely help you out with that. We have specific counselors that can assist. We are doing a lot of construction on all our campuses. The top one is our San Elijo campus. They're building a new student center there. Our athletic fields are primarily in our Oceanside campus, which is off the 78 and College. So you'll see a lot of new modernizations and improvements coming to our campus if you attend. And we also have a promise program, so very similar requirements. We don't require a separate application. We do offer funding for books on a case-by-case basis, but keep in mind that a lot of the classes offer 0 textbook costs. So they have like an online textbook format that the state is moving towards. And we also have a textbook loan program where you could borrow a book, which is run by our EOPS office. You don't have to be a part of EOPS. So all we require for you to fill out, you don't have to qualify for anything regardless of income. Just fill out a FAFSA or California DREAM Act application, and that's your application for the promise. So everyone qualifies for ours if you meet the criteria of being first time and full time. Okay. Another thing I'll highlight that is unique, and a lot of our colleges actually have partnerships with Point Loma, but I'm going to share the ones that we offer. And so these are the programs that we offer. Some business administration, cybersecurity type stuff, nursing, child development. And the great thing about the partnership with Point Loma is you do 2 years with us and then 2 years with them online and hybrid, and that would be on one of our campuses. And so there's a variety of classes offered, and the tuition is just much less than you would pay, upwards of like half of what you would pay to attend Point Loma per year. Okay, so great deal through them. If you are attending our San Elijo campus or thinking of taking classes, we have a great program called First Four, which you can find on our website. You apply online, and basically it's that you get seats guaranteed in classes that are an ideal schedule for first year students. So it's 4 classes, 4 days a week. So that meets your 12 unit requirement for your first semester. So we call it First Four. So easy way to get set up and structured and get the support at San Elijo campus. Some of our newer career education programs, a lot of the colleges talked about this, but basically they're programs that might not necessarily need a college degree or an associate's even. You can definitely go that full route, but you need more than a high school diploma to get into these high demand jobs in our region. So we offer cybersecurity and sustainable agriculture, some of our new ones. Biomanufacturing is what we're kind of known for, and we offer a bachelor's degree, so the 4-year degree in biomanufacturing. And the great thing about that is total cost for the 4-year, which is kind of, you can't find that anywhere, is about $10,000 for the 4-year program, and that's without financial aid. So a great opportunity to do the bachelor's program in biomanufacturing as well. One of our campuses, the one in Carlsbad, is called the Technology Career Institute. That is a workforce development program or job training campus. So we have grants from the government that allows us to make these really low cost for students to get trained. So they'll take like a 16-week program and be certified in machinist technology or other careers that are in high demand in our region and high pay. So there's high employment rate. And it's just a great program if you're not interested in doing like the traditional route of 2 years or 4 years or a certificate program. This is just a job training program. So something you can consider as well that we do in the region. And then I wanted to plug our honors program. So right now we have no GPA required. So it's different from high school where you have to kind of like get into honors courses. Anybody can take an honors course at our college. If you take 5 honors classes, then you can be TAP certified or Transfer Alliance program with UCLA. We also do it with UC Irvine, and it gives you a higher chance of being admitted because they will let you declare a second major. So in the past, we've had 100% acceptance rate to UCLA through that program. Obviously, the students that get in have good grades across the board, but they've taken these 5 honored classes and it gives them a little boost when they apply. And then as far as sports teams, one of our that I'll highlight that I know is popular is rugby in the region. So we do offer men and women's rugby. We have a surf team because we're coastal, and a couple of other sports that you can see there. And I'll post my information in the chat and we'll open it up for questions, but you can reach us at Instagram as well and through the chat that we have online. Thanks.
Really want to take an opportunity to just kind of thank everyone for their presentations tonight. As you can see, our community colleges in San Diego County really offer a wide array of opportunities for students. And I think that's something that we want to continue to message to our students is how great those opportunities are and how they can continue to pursue their academic opportunities and tap into their superpowers through the programs available at these programs. So what we'd like to do at this point in time, I know that we do have a lot of questions that were in the chat being answered, but we're going to go ahead and we will unmute our participants. And if you have a question, feel free to unmute yourself and go ahead and ask it outright.
I had a question. So some of the community colleges don't allow you to transfer to like UC Berkeley, but I was wondering which specific ones would let you transfer to UC Berkeley after the 2 years.
I mean, I can feel that one. So we all allow transfer to UC Berkeley. It's just that there's not a tag or a guaranteed admission program to UC Berkeley. So Berkeley, UCLA, and UC San Diego don't offer a guarantee like that. UC San Diego offers University Link, but it's extremely limited on who qualifies for that. So yeah, any of us could help you get to Berkeley.
Okay, thank you.
Our presenters obviously did a terrific job of answering all the questions.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So, do APs count as a kind of a check mark for taking care of GEs in community college? Okay.
Okay, I don't know if anyone else wants to field those, but feel free to chime in from the other colleges. But yes, AP can be applied. You know, you still need the passing score. We accept AP, IB. Some of us accept like CLEP credits, I believe. So it depends on the college. And so when you transfer to, you also want to consider where you want to transfer and what their requirements are, because theirs might be different. So for example, like UC San Diego is a little strict on, let's say you want to take calculus, they might want, you know, a 4 or 5 if you're taking it for an engineering major or something like that.
So just 2 questions from the chat, just really quick. We have one that is basically asking if who might have a game design program on their campus. Anyone wants to respond to that question?
Palomar College does.
I have a really good program. Sorry.
Oh, you good? I actually have another question specifically for Miracosta. Is there any summer programs available for CNC, machining, and engineering? I'm currently a senior in college, so I was wondering if there's any summer programs I could possibly take this summer to because I'm interested in that, but I'm also interested in psychology on top of it. So do you think you can give an insight on that at all?
Yeah, I can definitely look into the schedule for you. I'm not sure if they've published it yet. Typically, from my recollection, there are classes offered over the summer, and we are offering some like in person. You know, some of us are offering classes that meet in the lab, you know, on a hybrid type of style. So if I can find anything, I will chat it to you, or we can exchange emails, or feel free to email me as well.
Thank you.
I have a question for Miramar. And I have a I have a 9th grader that's soon to be a 10th grader. And I was told that they are allowed to take classes once they're a 10th grader at a community college level. What needs to happen to make that happen?
That's a good question. Actually, Meredith, I'm gonna refer that one to you since you're a little bit more knowledgeable about the high school.
Sure, I'd be happy to help answer your question. So in terms of requirements, students are required to have completed 10th grade, so that would make them eligible starting their junior year. So it is open to both juniors as well as seniors. In the case where a student may be a sophomore or freshman and they did still want consideration, they would have to then petition, which would be a different process. So some students, you know, if they're really looking for that academic rigor and have a letter of recommendation, that's always another avenue if the student did want to potentially take college courses at an earlier grade level. But in terms of the application, students would be required to complete an application just as all prospective college students would take. And then there's a supplemental application. And in that, both the student as well as a parent or guardian does authorize it. And then also there's a designated representative at each respective high school. So typically it's a principal or vice principal that also has to authorize approval of the course. But if you want to also provide your email in the chat, I'd be happy to follow up with the information in more detail too.
Thank you. So what I'm hearing is she wouldn't be eligible until she's in 11th grade.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I had a question. So I was lucky enough to get my GI Bill from my dad. Who should I contact to get that kind of set up? And I was asking more towards Miramar College.
So you would contact our veterans office, and I can actually enter that into the chat. That way you can become connected to them early on, and you can ensure that everything is put in place for you before the semester begins. If there's any, documentation, any steps that they need additionally to, the enrollment steps. But I'll enter that email into the chat so you can connect with them directly about any of those steps or information for that.
Thank you.
I have a question. My son's going to be going to a missionary school for 6 months straight out of, or in the fall. And so, but he's interested in attending Palomar afterwards. So can he still qualify for the Palomar Promise, I think it's called?
So for Palomar Promise, it is specifically like in a fall enrollment program. However, that doesn't mean that they couldn't still possibly qualify for some sort of financial aid. So hopefully hopefully you've done the FAFSA before March 2nd to possibly still qualify for some sort of financial aid. And then, you'd be coming in the spring semester. So yeah, it is a very specifically like a fall entry program.
So does that mean that it would be more advantageous for him to just wait a full year? And then would he still be considered his first, those first 2 years free since he's not straight coming out of high school?
Right. So as long as the Palomar Promise program is one of those programs in which, like, as long as you're a first-time college student, so as long as they don't do any college classes after high school, then we would still consider them to be eligible for Palomar Promise because they would still, in theory, be a first-time college student. And that doesn't mean that if a student takes like a college class while they're in high school that disqualifies them or anything like that. It's just for any classes taken. So if the student wishes to start in the fall semester of what would that be, fall 2022 to receive Palomar Promise, then that would be the path to take for that.
Awesome, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question. So my student, she's considering Palomar and Miramar, and she wants to transfer to a certain major for Cal State San Marcos. So for transfer to that degree, we looked up assist.org, but most of the courses for the major, they were coming up for Palomar. They were not coming up for Miramar. However, Miramar is closer to where we live. So I'm just asking, how would that work? How would she transfer, or would she have a better chance if she goes to Palomar? How would we decide? Can somebody provide insight?
Sure. So there's like a variety of factors that will definitely come into play. Like, what is the most convenient for you? What's going to be the most needs for you? As far as for like assist.org and sort of what your transfer requirements are, it is whatever the requirements are for you based on assist.org are pretty much your kind of like major contract that you're obligated to complete under that specific school. So so say, for example, like there's more or less classes between the two schools, you're only obligated under whatever specific assist.org program and whatever you speak to your college counselor about to meet those transfer requirements. Really, like both if you receive an associate's degree, like there's a lot of different factors to consider as well, because like if you're part of the ADT program, then there's a potential chance of just being the guaranteed admission into it because both community colleges offer that. It's a very layered one, but if anyone else wants to add into that,
It's a tough decision for us. I mean, Palomar is about hour and a half, commute time, and Miramar is just 15 minutes away from home. So we are deciding. But if that means a guaranteed spot in Cal State San Marcos, then we'll go in that direction. But I'm not finding any good information that makes us lean one way or the other.
Yeah, it definitely depends on your situation. And yeah, that is a tough spot because it's location versus the academic. So definitely take into account. Yeah, it's difficult to just tell you, oh yeah, pick this one or that one, but definitely weigh into like what it is that is a little bit more higher in priority. We always recommend students talk to transfer counselors sooner rather than later. Just to become informed. And I know that right now you wouldn't actually be in the campus just yet, but you could just ask maybe a general question, and they can provide at least a little bit of insight into that, even though they won't be able to actually, give you an actual outline of, steps to follow. But they might be able to maybe provide a little bit of general information as to that. But again, it's dependent on what it is that's a little bit more higher in priority.
Okay, so you suggest we contact the transfer department in Miramar College?
What I can do is I can provide you my information, and then we can communicate through email, or we can even set up a phone appointment so that we can become a little bit more connected as to like the situation, and I can definitely connect you, or at least I can speak to a counselor and maybe provide a little bit more insight as to what would be a better choice perhaps for the location and the academic side of things. But I can put my information, our Miramar outreach information, that way you can connect with me, and I'll put my personal one as well.
Thank you so much.
And I'll do the same for Palomar College as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As a graduating senior in June, do I still have to take the placement tests in math and English when I go to Palomar College?
Tony, I think question directed to Palomar College.
Oh, sorry. I was like gathering some information. What was the question again?
Oh, the question is, as a graduating senior, when I attend Palomar College, do I need to take the math placement and English placement test before I begin the Palomar Promise?
Oh, so actually, Palomar College actually, and this is actually very common for a lot of community colleges. We don't offer a placement test or English or math placement test. It's all dependent based off of the last course that you took in high school. So when you're submitting your college application, one of the questions we'll ask you is that what was your last math course and English course, and what was your grade in it? And then that's pretty much how we figure out where to place you for those specific courses.
Okay, and then the question asked by the lady before me, I understand the difference between the associated degree for transfer and the University of California transfer pathways. I think I was wanting to know the same thing. Is there any difference between like the actual matriculation of the courses other than choosing one or the other?
Between an associate's degree and
the associate's degree for transfer that is an option, or the University of California transfer pathway guide?
Oh, I see. So it's one of those things where, again, it's one of those things that's a personal choice. You don't necessarily have to get an associate's degree to transfer to a 4-year. You could just the advantage would be that you end up with an associate's degree, which is a 2-year degree. So if anything happens while you're at the 4-year institution, you have a degree to fall back on, compared to if you just do like a pathway just to a 4-year college, you're just doing classes and don't necessarily, you're just doing classes to meet your requirements to transfer, but no degree with that. There's a little bit more benefits when it comes to like the associate's degree, with not only does it provide you with a degree, but also there is that the ability to do the associate's degree for transfer, which has the added benefit of giving you guaranteed admission to at least a Cal State.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
So for Miramar College, just a quick question from the chat was, does the Promise program also apply to the Fire Academy?
You said Miramar College, correct?
Yes, I do.
Yes, it does. So you would just need to apply to the Promise program and Miramar College, and that would be covered. Your tuition would be covered, health fees, and dependent on financial aid, there is the opportunity for book grants. So yes, it would still, as long as you're a Miramar student and you follow the requirements, you fill out the applications and complete the application process, you would be in the program. So it's not dependent on a specific academic program.
Another question from the chat for Miramar College. Does Miramar College offer a STEM pathway?
Can I get a little bit more information as what you mean by a STEM pathway?
I don't want to read into the question. I don't have that information, but I'm going to go out and say probably an engineering pathway or a computer programming pathway. What opportunities are available in those areas for Palomar? Or I'm sorry, for Miramar.
So we have in our school, we have a school that's focused a lot on, the mathematics, like Meredith had mentioned. There is, the biotechnology program. So we have that school that focuses a lot on STEM. So there's a lot, and that's actually one of our most popular schools. The medical lab technician program is another popular one. And so students that are interested in perhaps going into STEM or the sciences, a lot of our students that's why they end up transferring a lot of the time to UCSD. Like I mentioned before, a lot of the students that we, personally work with, they're in the sciences. We had a student in the past that went into, I believe it was engineering, others that, focused on business. So there's a lot of different programs dependent. I'm not sure if there's a specific program that they were asking about specifically. I'm trying to look for the name in the chat. That's why I'm like trying to scroll to see.
Right.
But, I'm not sure if there's a specific program.
Yeah, pre-med pathway is what they clarified in the chat.
Okay. So we don't have for example, a lot of students are interested in nursing or end up wanting to go into, a medical school. And a lot of students take the allied health program because a lot of that program fulfills requirements for, it could be, medical school, it could be for nursing. So that is a path that students take. That way, once they finish Miramar College, a lot of those requirements are completed and they can move on to, another university that provides, the rest of the education in order for them to, ultimately end up wherever it is that they want to in the medical field.
Great, thank you. Jonathan, question for Maricosta. Does Maricosta have a computer engineering program, transfer program?
We don't offer a degree, particularly in computer engineering, but I think with most of us, you can prepare for really any major. So we can get the general education requirements and some of the major requirements for you to transfer to, really any 4-year that offers that program. So we offer a lot of certificates and degrees that are kind of, so you could think of them as stackable. So depending on the level of difficulty, we add more classes and they're more challenging. And but we prepare students very well for computer science and other programs in that area as well.
So we've reached the 7:30 marker here, and I want to just take a moment to thank our representatives from the different schools for being with us tonight. I know you guys have very busy schedules in your work right now, especially with the transitions of virtual settings. So thank you very much to all of you for spending time with us. I know that you guys have posted your information into the chat. If you wouldn't mind maybe doing that one more time so the attendees could pull that information down for their records to be able to get in contact with the outreach coordinators. Palomar ambassadors, thank you very much for joining us this evening and having your voice heard in the process. And to Chantal and Meredith, thank you very much. And Keith and your team for joining us. And obviously Jonathan and Tony from Maricosta and Palomar for your work. So thank you very much. I really appreciate your work, and to all the families who've been in attendance. This was recorded up until the question and answer portion, and we will push that out to both the Del Norte website under counseling, as well as push the recording out to our sister high schools, Mount Carmel and Westview, so that they can post and distribute out to you also if you're a resident attendee of those particular campuses. So really appreciate everyone's participation tonight, and thank you again for joining us.
Bye, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.